like under 18s and stuff, what would be your advice to get it out? Apart from like word of mouth, which, well, I try and then it comes to certain practices.
That's an absolutely fantastic question. I would say that just...
Could you repeat the question?
No.
She wanted to know advice for getting around in different countries and just ways to get the word out there other than word of mouth, I think. Your question was?
I was going to say that word of mouth is is a very broad term, but sometimes you just have to work at it, flying and doing that sort of stuff. Going to the communities that might be interested, like there's a local Harry Potter meetup group or something like that. Looking into that and seeing people might be interested in shows that way. Because just sort of being a Wizard Rock band in the normal local music scene won't get you noticed as much as going to people who you know are going to enjoy it, and then they'll tell their friends. And though I think this whole scene has happened because of word of mouth, so you can't really discount it, even though it seems like it might not work. It just takes a little bit longer sometimes.
If you look at the way this scene was established, I mean, don't forget that it took about 5 or 6 years. No, yeah, 6 years for it to get to this point, and you know, and most of that was word of mouth. I mean, most of that started with you know, Harry and the Potters deciding to go on tour and having like very you know, just kind of doing it totally DIY and just like seeing who would offer them a place to play. And now they're like international superstar heroes. You know, but it's yeah. I mean, seriously, Trivial Pursuit and yeah, what was it? Switzerland. Sweden. Well, they were so proud of that.
On MySpace and but the way to get word out is by playing shows. So that's sort of stick at it.
The best thing you can ever do is play a show.
And then play more shows.
Play more shows. Don't just play one.
Yeah, we need a venue factory with a big garden.
That's you?
So you guys so you guys are relatively well known now, even in the Muggle world. I was thinking Muggle terms. What is, like, even in your earlier days when you were less well known and you were trying to book shows to get the word out, to get your band out, to continue doing the music, is there like a phrasing, like a perfect phrasing that you could use to get libraries to think you're not completely nuts? I've had people who pretty much hung up on me when I mentioned I want to play a Wizard Rock show. So is there like a magical way to get them to listen to you? Ethereal.
I had trouble with this because Lena and I booked the tour on our own, and we had never done that before. And the first round of emails that I sent out, I sent to libraries that had Wizard Rock shows in the past. And we were just like, hey, so we're a Wizard Rock band, we really like to play a show. We're in 2 different bands. And we kind of told them what the show, like, what our show was about. But I very briefly told them what Wizard Rock was, and none of them answered me. And these are venues that had already had shows, so they were familiar with Wizard Rock and the crowd that it would attract and things like that. So then I decided that I was just going to go completely nuts and email 700 coffee houses and small little bookstores and just places that had no clue what this was, and then just wrote out this really long email about how passionate I was about the community, and that's when I started getting answers. I think that when you communicate to people how passionate you are about something like this, and like I just maybe gave them a very brief little history on the movement and everything like that, but most of it was about, this is the most fun I've ever had in my entire life. I've made so many incredible friends, and we've gotten so many people out and into their communities, and it just, when they kind of read it from that perspective, if they are seeing that you're enthusiastic about something, they'll be more enthusiastic about it. And that was what helped book the shows.
You know, as well as doing rocks, like I try to help these guys book shows when I can, even if it's not in my city. And another thing, and even though this is kind of strange, is let them know what's in it for them. Let those bookstores know you're going to have 100 kids who are avid readers in your bookstore. You're going to have you know, people talking about this, and like, you kind of got to offer them a little incentive to whatever kind of business. Like if it's a coffee house, you're like, well, you know, we know we're going to bring in X amount of people. They're going to be like, okay, well, we'll make some money and we'll give them a shot. And then when the show happens, they're like, wow, we should have done this years ago, and then you're in. You know, but just a little business sense and a little initiative for the venues can go a really, really long way.
Definitely. And I think like I've had basically the same email that I've sent out for like 5 or 6 years, not just Wizard Rock, but other bands that I've done booking for. And it's about 5 sentences long. You say who you are, you say when you want to play, and you say how many people you can draw to the venue. That's with a traditional venue. With Wizard Rock, you switch that last sentence to our show can bring in a bunch of young people who are going to be passionate about reading and being in the library. And so definitely mention in your requests that you provide a value to them, because you do.
Libraries don't necessarily know what the phrase Wizard Rock means necessarily. They might have booked Harry and the Potters a couple of years ago, and the phrase Wizard Rock wasn't even used yet. So it might help to say, I'm in a band that sings songs about the Harry Potter stories.
Yeah, and one thing, one piece of advice I'd like to give from personal experience, we tried to book a Christmas show. It took a full lot of work. It may not be the best idea to call a Baptist church and tell them.
I don't know about that. I played in the gymnasium of a Catholic church a couple times.
Yeah, and ironically enough, the church is called Holy Trinity, which is great because it's like Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Yeah, and they are so welcoming to us. They were like, absolutely, we're going to get all, you know, because it's a Catholic school, and we were in their gymnasium, and we did the Rockstock pre-show there this year, and it's just, I mean, you just have to, like, if you're involved in a church and you know that your church is more open to that sort of thing, then yeah, you should definitely do that. But in that sense, you should definitely do a little homework.
I'm actually kind of on this quest to play in as many denominations and religious institutions as possible. And like I've done, let's see, Catholic, I've done Universalist, Unitarian. I've done Existentialist, which is actually and I've done a Mormon church. So,
Matt, you played in a show.
yes, I did. That's right. Thank you for reminding me, Julia. Of course, it's you. But yeah, so that's like 5 different religions right there. Plus, I've also played in my house.
And you played in a wicked house. You just didn't know it.
The point is that you can't just discount religious people as intolerant. You know, religious people tend to not be intolerant. They're good people, and many of them like to host Wizard Rock shows in their church. So don't discount that as an option.
So when writing an email on how to book a show, just tell them why you're awesome.
Yeah,
Very off topic.
look out the red.
You guys kind of knew what you were